get rid of our inner critique. Now, who is your inner critique? And some of us might think that, oh, we don't have one. Now, he has a voice that is harsh, demeaning, and criticizes sometimes with no object. The self-criticism is so harmful for you. He is also always talking about your weakness and lacks.
Hi, my name is 𝓲𝓘𝓼. As a passionate creator of retreats and well-being plans, there is one thing I have understood of life, and that is that even rock bottom of life can offer us magical new possibilities and beginnings. All you have to do is show up authentically, intentionally, and willingly. Join me to build something truer and more joyful as I bring you the wisdom of my guest speakers from around the world in this talk show, Choosing Joy, Secrets and Stories from Around the World. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go. Namaste, everyone. My name is 𝓲𝓘𝓼, your host from India. Welcome back to the 44th episode on the talk show, Choosing Joy, Secrets and Stories from Around the World. Now, it is said that it is the reaction to adversity, and it's not adversity itself that determines how your life story will develop. And it's true. We do have a lot of unknowns in the world right now, and life can seem a little uncertain. And living with uncertainty, as we all know, is really hard. And today we are about to explore one such story of resilience and human response. Now, my guest today, I could speak about her probably for the next hour, but just to give you a sense of who she is, she's a two-time global award winner, recognized for her inspirational and influential global impact. She has been appointed a Global Women Peace Ambassador and received the Her Story Award from WFWP for her remarkable work in empowering humanity. Very recently, she was nominated for an honorary doctorate in humanitarianism for 2024 by the Global International Alliance. She has also authored Tales of Hope, My Miraculous Journey of Faith, Courage, and Survival. And her captivating tale is destined for the silver screen, promising to stir hearts and souls alike. Please join me to welcome all the way from United States, Aimee Kodachian. Welcome, Aimee.
Thank you so much for this lovely introduction. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. It's an honor, an absolutely honor. Ever since we connected, about 2 weeks ago, I've been waiting to get your message. Now, Aimee, even though people say that when we no longer know what to do and when we no longer know which way to go, we have begun a real journey. But in your case, Aimee, from what I understood and what I've read, you somehow have always known in which direction to go. Even when you were young, you were always guided by the invisible hand. So maybe today, for our viewers, we should do a little bit of time travel. And maybe you could share a little bit about your childhood, the sweet and sour memories. If, Aimee, it's not too disturbing to talk about that, and if you're comfortable.
Of course, of course. I will share with you, it's a little bit maybe not joyful story, but in the end, there is some deep wisdom that I gained from my father. After this incident, 1975, when the Lebanese civil war began, I was just 12 years old, and I was so happy to hear that we're going to leave Lebanon, because the beginning of the war, my father wanted to take us to Egypt. And I was dealing with dyslexia. At that time, you know, they didn't know, that's only yesterday, but it was, nobody knew about dyslexia, and the teacher were punishing me. And then I was held back at school. You can just imagine the poor child held back at school year after year. And then I had basically, I was so frustrated why the teachers weren't helping me, why the kids are making fun of me and bullying me. And I just didn't know how to deal with that. And until when I was sitting down in the living room with my older and hero brother, Robert, telling him about my pain. And he just asked me, what you like to do when you grow up? I said, I want to be a teacher or a lawyer because I want to defend people like me. I want to really tell the world that you're not dummy if you couldn't read and write and if you have an issue. And no one should be punished because they're weak in one area. And he said, you have your why, and I want to help you. And, I want to help you go to college and becoming a teacher. And back then there were some people going to college, some women at that time, but not a lot. Majority, they get to college maybe a couple of years and they get married. And his promise to me was really amazing. So when we were having a great conversation, he needed to get up to get to his tea from the kitchen. I said, you're having a good conversation. Hold on 1 second. I will go get your tea. So he doesn't get up.
You got up to
Yeah,
get the tea.
but I felt something at that moment. I felt something was lifting me from my chair, lifted. Literally, I just felt I was lifted, and I said, I will get your tea. And he looked at me with the beautiful eyes smiling in my face, waiting for me to get his tea. So I turned to the kitchen and I took 2 steps. The third step, a bomb flew from the window to that living room.
Gosh, yeah.
And took my brother. I
hard.
turned around, all I see the flames, his hand, the one he was going to hand it to me. And my mother in the other room with my father trying to throw herself from the window, and the bombs start coming one after another after another.
Goodness.
So I was carried up down to leave the building, and I was looking at the room. I was just sitting there, but in flame. And then bomb was coming.
That's hard.
In 1 second, just my life changed as 12 years old.
Yeah.
2 days later, my father, a wisdom man, caught me in the corner. At that time, everyone was paying attention to the mothers because my mother, she was in the other room. And the attention was going to the mother, and everyone not knowing that I probably witnessed something like this. And my father came to me, and he came down on his knees and looked at me and he said, "What's wrong?" I said, "I'm afraid." "Okay, I understand you're afraid." And he said, it was a long conversation. And after that, he said, "Okay, I want you to look at my eyes. This is where the wisdom comes." I said, "Okay," I didn't know what he was going to say. I looked at his eyes. He said, "Look very carefully. You see that white?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Do you see that brown circle?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Do you see that black circle, the small one?" I said, "Yeah, but where are you going with this?"
Yeah.
He said, "Sometimes we have to go through darkness to see the light."
Oh, that's incredible wisdom. And what a beautiful way to explain this to a 12-year-old.
Yeah. And at that time, I had a great relationship with my father because he used to travel a lot, but I have a very good connection with him. Me and my older brother, only the ones that we listened to his wisdom so much. So I absorbed my father's wisdom. So at that time, it just took me off of the trauma. And I started to think about the how you see dark through lightness, how this happened. So the question took me off a little bit from the trauma I just saw. So that's the wisdom I could share with everybody. So sometimes we have to go through darkness
to
see the light.
To see
and
the
I
light.
said, how? I asked, how? He said, sometimes you have to wait until that reveals to you. You might not know it now, but you will know it one day.
The patience.
He didn't give me
patience.
the answer,
Mm.
and I had to figure it out throughout my life.
And do you think you are anywhere close, Aimee, to
Anyway,
have you figured out how to go through every darkness that life gives us and then step into light? Have you figured it out? Kind of.
throughout the decades,
Mm.
I search and search, and he would never give me the answer. I search and search, and I came up to the solution
Mhm.
not too long ago, after I finished my last chapter, and I received the call. I received the nomination for the doctorate.
Mm.
I couldn't understand that why I'm receiving the 2 other awards from very respected companies that they have chapters all over the world, and they chose me out of many people. And like one of them, it was like over 1,000 the emails they received to choose the other awards, and then one of them, it was me.
That's
To
amazing.
get those awards, it wasn't something easy to accept, because when you serve, you don't feel like you earn anything. You're not serving to earn anything. And then when you receive it, you're like, okay, well, why I'm receiving this? Thank you, but I'm supposed to be doing this.
Yeah,
To
well
me,
deserved.
yeah, I'm just not feeling like I even deserve that. For what? Like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Supposed to do.
But when I received the last one, it's like, what? This is the 3rd one that I could not imagine.
Congratulations, Aimee. I'm sure
Thank you.
so well deserved.
Thank you.
It's
So that really clicked in my mind, and I said, you know what? No, and this is where really the good answer came to me.
Yeah.
Even though throughout the years it came, it was coming to me slowly.
Mhm.
If I didn't go through that dark day, if I didn't witness what's happened to my brother, which I'm supposed to be sitting and he's supposed to be going to the kitchen. So it was I felt guilty for so many years. So it was my turn to go, not him. And I couldn't understand why. I figured slowly. But at this moment, when I finished the book and I received this award, I took a deep breath and I said, oh my gosh, you know what? If I didn't go through this darkness,
Yeah.
I witnessed my brother, and I witnessed other bombing, and living in the war as a child, seeing my brother suffering at 6 years old, and then giving birth to my daughter and seeing her witnessing the war, how would I be the voice today?
Absolutely. I think you're so right that it's like taking a piece of cloth and you know that the cloth has to be, say, the color indigo, until you actually submerge it into that indigo color as a dyer does. I think it's impossible to absorb that indigo color. And I'm quite sure, Aimee, that trauma of losing a brother, because I've lost a mother and a sister to tragedies, the trauma takes a lifetime to heal, and maybe not even a lifetime, many lifetimes. But there was something else in your story that was magical when we talked. You talked about a transformative miracle that ignited you, that helped you overcome your tragedies and challenges. What is the transformative miracle that you were talking about? Is there something specific that happened?
Yeah, specific happened. I could go really quickly on this one.
Sure.
After that incident, we had lost our home. We lost everything. The war started hard. Like the road was shut down. The phones they were no cellular that time, cellulars, and everything was down. So we didn't have home to go to. We couldn't reach our family in the next, further away from us. The road couldn't allow us to do that. My family, they had to take me and my 6 years old brother and put us in rundown boarding school.
Mhm. Mhm.
and leave us there. When they left, my heart left with them, because it was hard to be left
hard to
after
be there.
witnessing my brother,
Absolutely.
strategy.
Mm.
And now I have 6 years old brother with me to take care of.
Mm.
In the mountain, when they put us down, they left. A few days later, the road shut down.
Mm.
They couldn't come to visit me.
Mhm.
And we didn't have food because everything was shut down. Electricity was shut down. They were bombing the main place for the water, electricity. And so there was no
Hard.
water coming in, no electricity, no food coming in. Everything was shut down. And phones were very limited back then. And that was shut down completely. They couldn't even call me. At night, I was looking at from the balcony, and because from the mountain you could see Beirut and the bombs and the coming, from one area to another.
Mm.
The next day, my brother was, I caught him eating from the garbage because we
Oh.
didn't have food. He came to me crying on my shoulder.
Mm.
When I'm gonna see my mom, my brothers, my father. And I just like, his cry was like really
Yes, it just
me
pulled at your
apart.
heart. Yeah.
Turned me apart. This is a 6 years old brother. He wants his family.
Mm.
And it was a lot for 12-year-old girl to just witness this and see her brother going through this. There's no support. I remember I sat on a bench in a lot in a playground,
Mhm.
and a tree behind me. And I put my back and I completely surrendered. I completely, because I had nowhere to
Where
go.
to go?
I had nowhere to go. The surrender that I experienced, I used that all my life. That helped me.
Yeah.
But I surrendered completely. And I looked up with my tears coming down.
Mm.
And I asked for God for help. I
Mm.
said, I'm scared. I don't know what to do. I'm feeling darkness. I was feeling so darkness, down, like
Totally.
completely.
Mm.
At that moment, God listened, he heard my cries, my prayers,
Mm.
my surrendering. And soon I felt everything so quiet around me, like there is nothing around me. It was no kids playing. And again, I was just lifted and felt like protected with light. And the light was appearing, and then there's like a snowball.
Mm.
And that snowball was coming to me. And then very soon it just came here.
Yeah.
And that feeling, the darkness I was feeling was filled with light. I was feeling light outside and inside.
And love, probably.
Yes. So for a week or two, I was walking around like almost like a zombie, like what happened? I'm just so lifted. How that could be? What is this? I
Mm.
just couldn't understand, and I couldn't share with anyone because I was speechless. I just didn't know
Yeah.
what just happened.
That is.
That light
Mm.
helped me understand
Mm.
something very profound that most people know, but they don't take it as seriously as what it is.
Mhm.
And sometimes you could learn something from knowing, not something you learned. When I experienced that light, it became knowing to me without someone telling me what it is. It
Mm.
was there, and I felt everybody probably have this information.
Mm.
But it was knowing to me that small ball of thing
Like,
that came
mm.
in
Mm.
like a snowball.
Yeah, you
That
felt
is the
it.
spirit. My spirit left because the sadness.
Oh, do you
And
think it was your spirit, Aimee?
yes, because I
Ah.
was completely left
Mm.
from my being. It's like almost dead person. I was in darkness.
Oh.
You can just imagine that. And
Mm.
the spirit does not live
Mm.
in darkness. So when I received that, I felt that was my spirit. I understood it that way. Whether I'm right or wrong, I understood it that way.
But it served you well.
Then what happened when I understood,
Mm.
it became so clear to me that I needed to serve that little light.
Mm. That's
Therefore,
beautiful.
I didn't go on drugs later on in my life. I
Yeah.
didn't go to hurt that. So understanding that our soul purpose, see, we have a soul and we have a spirit.
Absolutely.
I understood what my soul purpose was.
Yeah.
And my sole purpose was to take care of my spirit. And when I do that, my spirit would take care of me.
That is so powerful, Aimee. And look at you today. I mean, despite facing all these obstacles, you have persevered, you have fulfilled your inner destiny, and your mission, the more I read, about you and hear from you, it is you have delivered a message of that 12-year-old girl to humanity. Tears of hope. I just want to share. I'm just so overwhelmed, touched with the tears of hope and the anthem and the fact that it's going to be a motion picture. That is such a blessing. And you have this orchestra. We heard it the other day. It started with 2 people, and now how many people do you have playing that? Like 80?
Over 70 musicians.
Oh, wow. So how's that going for you? How is that shaping up? The motion picture, are we going to see it soon?
Well, that's something we're working on.
Okay.
It takes time. So
Takes
we're
time.
just
Yes, yes.
this video, the one you watched the other day, it took me 1.5 years straight work. And that was created 10 years ago.
So
But
beautiful.
it was time. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And Aimee and Grammy winner who actually played the music.
Yeah.
And I must give the credit to God because
Mhm.
I knew it was time for me to reopen the door for that music, that the message came from the 12-year-old girl. I needed to bring it back to life in 2021. And sure enough, the right people showed up. I called someone who she attended my seminars
Mhm.
10, 11 years ago. And I couldn't call anybody else because I knew a lot of artists.
Mhm.
But it's just for some reason I was guided. I was guided every step of the way. I knew this is gonna be something someday to represent children, but I didn't know how how it's gonna happen.
Yeah, but you're
I
guided.
found,
You're guided,
yes,
Aimee, every single time. You have
yes,
divine
so God,
guidance.
what a blessing that is to
That is,
learn how to surrender, learn how to keep my spirit and my light alive. I had to learn that. And by learning how to do it, I overcame, I don't know if you read it yet, but when you read the book, you'll know
yes,
how
I'm
many,
yet to read it.
yes, how many things I had to overcome because I learned how to use all this things that been given to me from
That's
God.
that's amazing.
The power of surrendering, the power of surrendering. And so many people say, well, surrendering, that means you're surrendering to the what it is. I tell them, no,
Yeah.
you're surrendering to the outcome.
Mm,
You
absolutely.
do the work
Yes.
with no expectations.
You relinquish the control.
Surrender, you surrender to the outcome.
That is
And
beautiful.
sure enough, when I did it the first time, the Tears of Hope anthem,
Mm.
I didn't feel it was completed yet. I was a little bit disappointed, but I kind of said, okay, well, I followed everything you want me to do. Why is not what it is needs to be done? Sometimes our communications with God, with the higher self, it's the divine, it's a little bit different language. And I had
What
to
do you
learn.
mean by that? What do you mean by that? Because this should be interesting to our viewers and listeners. What exactly did you mean by that?
It's a different language, because when you want to apply what you're hearing,
Hmm.
a lot of people have mission and vision,
Yes.
and then they get disappointed. We
Okay.
get disappointed. Oh, I wanted to make a difference in the world, but I'm not being helped. I wrote a book. I'm not getting anywhere. Why? And that's what I've been told. I've been following everything I've been told, but we don't hear it completely clear and understand the power of God's timing.
Mm.
So we understand we need to do something. We're doing it in our time, in our way, what we understand. And God says, you're not ready yet.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you. That's how I live my life.
But most people won't.
Patience, patience. I don't know if I shared that incident where, one of our mentors, devotee, was trying to open that flower that, the Guruji likes. And of course, the petals will always break if you try to rush something before it's time, or you take a cake out of the oven before it's baked.
It's
Uh,
baked.
but Aimee, you are just an amazing example. I mean, look at you. You came, English was your third language. You had only a fourth grade education. And yet today you're showing up as a leader and influencer to be reckoned with. And you have a focused journey. It's quite incredible. Now, I know that part of your journey is to shift consciousness and this paradigm shift. Would you want to go into a little bit? What is it that you're trying to do, and how are you doing this shift? Is it your transformative online programs? How are you making this shift?
Well, first of all, I believe in education, inspiration, through inspiration, education, and life transformation
Right.
program support. The more we support each other, the more we lift the consciousness in the world, right? We help each other, we find each other, we click with each other. Our light, our energy, our power become so strong at finding each other. But some people are still lost in not knowing. They have a lot of gift, just like anybody else. We all have it. And then they still searching for the light. And sometimes they could find their lights through learning something from someone, receiving information from someone, listening to someone's wisdom, right? I conquered it because it took me years to go to life college. The biggest school in the world is life. And
Yes.
it took me decades to go through so much
Yes.
and be able to become an author and producer. And like you were saying, it didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen because I'm smart. It didn't happen because I'm special. It did happen because I listened, I learned, I put my time to understand God's language. I don't even have conquered how to explain what God's language is, because it's so deep. It's knowing.
It's knowing. It's knowing.
Right? Because we don't know it all. I don't know it all. I would never know it all. My father used to tell me, the time we just start learning about life. Just we start. That's just the beginning, is the time we leave this earth.
That's amazing. And your journey is beautiful. Aimee, you are working with your soul purpose. You're working with the messages. You want to replace war with harmony and peace.
Exactly.
Now, also tell me a little bit more about these programs. Do you include healing? Is there mindfulness? Do you advocate the practice of staying in the present? Tell us a little bit more about, how I know that people are so obsessed with either the future or they stay in the past, and all this creates anger and sadness. What is it that you do in these online programs?
What I do, I have created a magazine, which is accessible every library in the world, and then
Yes.
Zinyo and my website, you could read it for free. I bring some of the top experts in their field
I love
to
that.
share their wisdom, knowledge, and powerful insight. In my magazine, there is no such a thing. It's Empower Humanity magazine. There is no about celebrities, and we might maybe make a story about celebrities, how they overcame something, right?
Yes, it's the wisdom that they stand for, basically.
The magazine, it's purely inspiring, empowering, wisdom, and uplifting.
Wow.
Because I think we're hungry to focus just on that. So either that and online classes I have. Some people want to learn how to market their business, how to start a business. So it kind of give you guidance in life. What do you need to do to survive so we could have a better community, we could have better parents, we could have a better children, and that's how we improve. I meet people where they're at. My writers and the people I interview, they meet people where they at. I like I said, we don't know it all. I don't know where the person is when they're hearing something, right? If they are at the right moment, hearing the right person, they will receive the message they need to receive. Therefore, I do it without even having a plan in mind. Why I'm doing it and how I'm doing it. I let it be. I know that I put my platform there. I bring the right people that could inspire others. And the outcome, I let it go. I can't control where people gonna be inspired, how they're going to be inspired, why they need to be inspired.
I agree, Aimee. I think you do this and I do this. We become that beautiful bridge, because I always say that someone has something to say and someone out there needs to listen to it.
I need to listen to it.
And it's beautiful. I think this is such a crucial, such a precious role. And of course, you talk about taking it to the next notch, Aimee. From what I understand, you're saying that each one of us is a leader. And, today with our theme, how do you awaken the leader in you? Are you talking about core values? And what are the non-negotiable qualities of a leader according to you?
Well, since the day we were born, we're leading. We're leading our parents when we're hungry. We tell them when we're hungry. We tell them when we're not feeling good. We tell them when we're happy. The babies are leading itself in certain way. Okay, so we are born knowing how to guide ourselves, and we are born as leader of ourselves. Some people understand leaders, that means you have to lead group of people. That's not what the leader in you is. You could learn how to lead group of people. You could learn that. That's something you could learn to do it.
Learned behavior.
You could learn to do it, but to learn how to lead yourself, that's a little bit, you have to go backwards and understand and believe that when you were born, you were leading your parents. Remember, if you're crying, your parents couldn't stop you until you want to stop. They could try, try to feed you to stop you, but if you don't want to stop, there is one example I can give you. They came to a king, and the king was controlling the whole, a big tribe of people, but he couldn't control the baby.
Yeah.
The baby wants to cry. He could not control that.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So therefore, if we understand our core, you're talking about the core leading, we're not talking about leading people.
Yes.
Your core leading it's already born with you and in you. And slowly it disappear throughout our lives. Therefore, in order to gain that leadership, because when you're going to have to understand why you lost it. When you understand why you lost it, then you understand how to grab it, because each one of us losing it in a different way. A teacher could tell you something, a parents could tell you something, it could take your confidence away. You'll be shut down as you get older. You can't be shut down as a baby. You want to crawl to grab something, you can grab them, but they still want to go grab it. I'm sure you raised kids and you know that. Even if you tell your kids, don't touch this, they want to go and touch it again. They want to lead themselves, right? They're free.
Absolutely.
And then, therefore, when we get older, slowly, the teacher system, the parent
conditioning.
Conditioning, it takes that away, the leader within you. Not to say we shouldn't teach them the right and wrong, because they could hurt themselves. I understand that, I'm not going there. However, the way that you can gain that is through confidence.
Wow, I like that. I like that.
The way you come through. When you start to gain one dip of confidence at a time, another confidence. It's like you're getting climbing this mountain.
Yes.
And you're like, okay, I'm getting more confidence. But how do you get confidence?
And how does
That's
one get confidence?
How you get confidence? You get confidence by turning your fear into faith and surrender to the outcoming.
Turning your fear into faith and trust that the
unfolding and surrender to the outcoming. When you do that, you are not in your mind, because your inner, if you want to awaken your inner leadership, it's not in your mind. Your inner leadership, it's in you, it's in your body, it's in every being, it's in your blood. You've been born with it, it's in your spirit, it's in your soul. It's not in your mind. And as we get older, we go in the mind. And then when you're climbing that mountain, if you go into your mind, you fail. You're going to have to say, I turn my fear into faith that I could climb that mountain.
Absolutely.
And then when you climb that mountain,
that is it.
You surrender to the outcome. Therefore, you're not in control anymore.
Yeah.
See, most people think control is everything. You have to control it. You have to do. No, you control the work you're doing.
It's exhausting. It's exhausting, Aimee, to be always in the driver's seat. So,
and that's why I understood when the bomb came, that's a lesson I got, that I can't control anything.
The surrender. It's nice to be a passenger. I think that's the message we need to give. Let someone else, let the divine hand guide you, let it drive you. In fact, there was one quote that you made, Aimee, somewhere. I think it was from Oprah Winfrey, and you had said that also we need to value ourselves. And once we have that confidence, we need to start valuing, because when we undervalue what you do, the world will undervalue. And I think that's one of your core values, isn't it?
Absolutely. And then I would say I love to use, I love Oprah, by the way, and that's one of my dreams. I want to get there. I want to go meet her.
We are hooting for you, Aimee.
Yeah.
I'm hooting for you.
Thank you. And out there, if anybody hears it, I'm going to put it out there. And if it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
I'm claiming one seat in that show.
That is awesome. What I have this, I leave some quotes in my book. I do tell the story, my story, but then I tell you how I turned around and overcame it, right?
Yes.
I share with you some of the
Yes.
insights
Yes.
that
We
my
had a
father
lovely chat.
used. It's not only just you're reading my story, you're reading the story with the solution of what happened,
Yeah.
without teaching. The book is not about teaching. The book is about you walk away whatever you need to walk away with. It's not about me teaching you anything, because you cannot teach the soul. The soul have access to a bigger library in the world. So I don't have power of that. I can only put my information out there and voila.
You extract what is needed. And Aimee, you have a heart of gold. In fact,
Thank you.
with all that you're creating, I see the selfless way you are showing up in this world. You actually donate like 75% of your net profits and
Actually, 100%.
100% of the
100%.
anthem. And you're
Yes.
supporting
No, and the
children.
book too. And the
And
book
the
too.
book
Now
as
I let it
well.
go completely.
Okay,
That's the old way of doing it, but
100%.
it's going 100% now because I had to release. I
Yes,
had to release 100%.
of the
And I
net
think
profits.
what we're gonna do with that is creating teddy bear and
Oh,
sending teddy bears to the children, because I wished I had one to hug when the bomb was dropping.
oh,
I wished my brother had one to give it to him. I wished my daughter to have a teddy bear. I couldn't afford it at that time.
that
I
is
wish
so
that
sweet.
every child can hold that teddy bear when the bomb is dropping. I
Yeah.
can't fight with the bomb, but I can give something.
Oh, that is beautiful. God bless you, Aimee.
Thank you.
Now, if someone wants to join you on this mission, beautiful journey of yours, of your soul purpose, can they reach out if they wanted to donate together with you? Where would they find you?
First of all, for now, I'm not for
You're not
nonprofit.
looking at
I
associations.
don't take donation. That's not what I am about. I could, but I don't want to do that.
You don't
'Cause
want that association.
No, I don't want that. I have my online classes, my TV show, my magazine where I make my blessing.
Yeah.
And the movement is solely about giving from all of us to the
So
children of the
amazing.
world, because they need us. They need to know someone across the world care about them. And the way we're doing it, by buying the book or downloading the song.
Oh,
Buying the book, we'll buy a couple of teddy bear
yes.
and teddy bears, and then we could send them, we'll send them over.
Oh, that's a good
That's the
idea.
goal.
So
Yes, so I don't
someone
ask
could
for donation.
get across to you, Aimee, and say, oh, I want to send 10 teddies, and you'll send it to, is that how it's going to work?
Yes, this
Okay.
is how we're planning right now. I'm having a big team, volunteers and people who
Beautiful.
believes in this message, to put our hands together to connect with other organizations who's already on the ground. And it doesn't matter which country it is. It could be my
Yeah.
enemy country.
Yes.
Children doesn't know enemy.
They have the purest souls. They are the ones
Exactly.
affected. Yeah.
Thank you. So it doesn't matter which country it is and what's happening. I don't care. We care about peace. That's it. We care
Absolutely.
about the next generation. We care about
Harmony.
touching the soul, touching the spirit of that child when it's darkness. I'm not, I cannot give them the light I received. I'm not
And everyone has
that
their own soul
powerful.
journey. They all
But
have
I
their
can
soul
do that.
journey. You know what I feel like my journey and what I associate with you, and I'm tapping into your energy, and I feel like it's my energy, is we can bring them a smile rather than a
Thank you.
tear. That's all we need to do in our small way, is give them some smiles. So thank you, Aimee, for that beautiful heart that you have, and for
Thank
sharing
you.
it with listeners and all the children. Please include me in this good work that you're doing. I would like to be associated with you because my heart is with all that's happening.
and creating chaos versus
Yeah.
love.
So where they can go, you asked me that, is I
Yes.
didn't put it correctly. Tears of Hope movement.com.
Movement.com. Tears of
Yeah.
Hope movement.com for everyone. Please access it and see how you can be associated, maybe your blessings, so that Aimee is able to do her work.
Sharing, just sharing.
Absolutely,
Liking
share
the
it.
music, liking the Tears of Hope music. Put your comment, because your comment, it's your thoughts. And that's all we need. We need to grow this movement so we can touch more children. I don't want money. I'm not asking for money. I'm asking for your acknowledgement, knowing those children are suffering. And who can represent them more? The person who was there.
Yes.
Who I witnessed.
Absolutely.
Children suffering.
Aimee, your message, I think, through this podcast, this talk show, is going to reach a lot of people. And that's why we're doing this collaboration together. Thank you so much for being you. And now,
it's an honor to be here. Thank you.
Now let's breathe and have some fun. I always finish. It's time to have fun, and it's always finish with rapid fire questions. So I'm going to just shoot some 5 or 6 questions to you, and then just easy, quick, quirky answers.
Be nice with me.
No. So it's just fun. It's just not to put you in a spot, but just to have fun. And I always feel joy to the world. This is my attempt on joy. So the first question, if you're ready, coming up to you is, are you—
I'm ready.
Oh, okay, all right, let's go for it. Are you an early bird or a night owl?
Night owl.
Okay. The color you think best describes your personality?
Color will describe my personality is yellow.
Oh, wow.
And light yellow and burgundy.
Oh, lovely. Okay. If you're given a chance, I know it's a little silly, but still, would you rather talk to animals or aliens?
Animals.
Okay. If you could give your 18-year-old some advice, what would you say? Just briefly.
Know that you are loved.
Yeah, I know it takes us so many years to realize that. And what occupation other than your own would you like to try?
I mean, everything I'm doing, I'm liking this. I like everything. I like creating. I like marketing. I like directing.
Oh, yeah.
I like directing. Something that I would like to do, directing.
Okay, well, that was easy. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. So thank you so much for being authentic, and that was easy. I was never to put you in a spot. And so, Aimee, I end this session today saying that let's flow like the river with beautiful experiences that have been, that have yet to come. Let's continue together to influence and reshape and help the world be reshaped so that we may become the person that we ought to be. So let's wish all our audience that they journey well, my dear viewers. And now, Aimee, join me in saying bye to everyone. And
I'd like to leave you with this.
Please do.
You don't have to be perfect to be beautiful and powerful. All you have to do is be yourself.
That is so beautiful.
Thank you so much for having me. And thank you for everything you are doing to bring light and share people's wisdom with the world. I appreciate everything you're doing. I know it's not easy, but you know what? It fills your heart, and that's a beautiful thing. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. And thank you for being you. And I look forward to staying associated with you and doing beautiful work. I look forward to that opportunity in your magazine. And I know that our association is going to stay for long. Thank you. And let's say bye to everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.